Hello, guys. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Teachings. Sorry about yesterday, guys. The video, the voice was pretty messed up. Hopefully, it's okay this time around. So, guys, the first day after the election was a crazy day in the market. Even though market gapped up, there's a lot of things that ran today. We were able to catch few things. The community was able to catch a few things, and of course, there's a bunch of earnings placed today. Decent day. Personally, didn't do much. Amazon, one of the main trades that I was trading. Tesla tried some in the morning. Didn't work out fully, but it started to run later in the day. So we'll talk about all these, guys. Before I start, let's just do a quick introduction for anybody who's new to my YouTube, new to my Twitter, or new to my community. All these recaps and all these teachings are from anything that I tweet or anything I shared with you guys in my previous YouTube videos, and mostly they are from my community where I'm live every day talking through all the market setups. So we trade a repeatable system, Ripster EMA Cloud system that thousands of traders use across the world to trade consistent. So repeatable system that thousands of traders use across the world to trade consistently. We have repeatable setups with the same setups that we trade every day, be it a day trade, swing trade, or investment. It's always a repeatable setup for us. We are looking at a lot of these repeatable setups that I will show you every day, or I have been showing you in the past YouTube videos for more than a year, couple of years that you can watch. And same thing we do every day in, day out. And that's what I'm trying to show you, how to trade consistently with repeatable setups, minimal losses, and bigger winners. So anyways, this is our game plan every day we created in the pre-market. I even tweeted out this game plan for everybody free on Twitter today as well. A lot of those setups are always from our game plans. In addition to that, we also have our day 2, day 3 plays. This is another strategy that I invented. I did a free webinar on this strategy. We provide the support and resistance levels, and you can trade these using EMA Cloud system. I also have a webinar in the community that explains that how to trade these setups. PLTR was the main setup. That was a nice one today. There was a day 2 that we are swinging, and it really paid well on that. So we also provide the levels for SPY, QQQ, and we also provide the levels and for the crypto stocks. Coin really went crazy that we're gonna discuss in this recap today because of the impact of Trump and his policies for the Bitcoin. So we're gonna discuss that as well. Anyways, I'm on the voice. I'm when the market opens, I'm on the voice first few hours, guiding the traders to the morning trades and any 10 a.m. midday trades. If the market is really hot or something important, I usually come on the voice all day, but regardless, I'm guiding my community all day through the trades as well. More than that, we have hundreds of smart traders on our trading floor all day discussing the trade ideas, what's happening in the market. We have a bunch of option scanners, stock scanners, audio alerts, news bars, audio news squawk, support resistance alerts, a lot of those things in our community, which is a one-stop shop. Why we are one of the best trading communities out there. So that's what we do. And with that being said, I'll show you my timestamped comments. A lot of my comments and guidance is on voice. I can't show you that. So we're going to recap all that in this recap, and we will go from there. Let's start. All right, so let's start with what was happening with SPY QQs today. So let's look here. So SPY QQQ, let me go to this window and so that you can see it more clearly. So SPY was gapping up. Trump elections pretty bullish for the market, but we were gapping. This was a huge gap. I don't really remember when was the last time SPY had gapped such a big level. You see that how big the gap is. Huge gap on SPY. Almost from 576s to almost to the 589s. So SPY was gapping up, huge gap. So the point of a huge gap up is like, how do we want to trade it? Do we just do a gap and go and break out of the pre-market highs, or do we have a pullback? So as soon as the market opened, our initial trade at 9:30 was a short scalps. Let's see, there was no strength right at the open, and even QQQs they were showing a little bit more strength than SPY. QQQs were stronger than SPY. You see that how the QQQ candles were, right? That was initial long scalp we trying to do. Amateur candle did not work. Then it breaks 512. We got out, and then the rest of the setup, midday setup, I'll recap later. But let's talk about SPY here, right? So we know that there's a big risk, and this is on the gap. So this was a big level here, and we did give the levels in the pre-market as well to the community traders. Let me see if I can show you those levels. Let's see, yeah, right here, SPY 587.30, 586.12, right? So you can see those levels, and there was a one level right here, this one, and so you see that from 9:30 to 10 a.m. 950s and to 10 a.m. right here, SPY faded like $4, right? So so SPY was a short. It was a morning short scalp, right? And it has to pull back 3450s. We were looking for a gap fill trade if we saw another candle going under the clouds. But again, if it doesn't fail by 10 a.m., then it's going to bounce, right? So this was a short scalp. A lot of traders in the community, we did that. You can see that 586 or went to 100% just with that move because there's so much range. And then SPY went to chop, bounced from 3450. Pulled back again, bounced for 3450. So I was not interested in all this area for most of the day. I was actually away today. I had to get some personal stuff done, so I was not really on. But I did share, even on Twitter, I shared this setup, the breakout setup that I'll show you here as well. And then the trade was the midday breakout, and same was on QQQs. So let's see here. So you see that this morning choppiness, down, up, down, up, down, and then we had the breakout, right? So let's look here. Let's see, I want to show that when I shared that SPY. All right, so so we talked about the morning. So you see that we morning try to push, then we pull down, never break it. So we were shorting, yes, but it's 10 a.m. That's what I teach about 10 a.m. again and again, and we did not fall beyond that, and there was no gap fill. If we did, we would have had a lot of range. But Wicks stopped breaking out. Wicks went weak, and then we went to this chop. So this was the breakout setup. Breakout, breakout. This was the breakout setup. Breakout, breakout. And that's what I posted on Twitter, that setting up, right? And then you see that after that happened, it was just a straight push up. On SPY, you see that candle and you see that breakout that I shared, and from that you can clearly see that how QQQ rallied all day. So you can trade these breakouts. You can put your stops right under here, 502s if you want to, and then you can long it. You can long the calls. QQQ was a better mover because a lot of the things like Amazon was strong, and a lot of other movers were strong, and not to mention that we were also over 500 psychological level, right? So 500 psychological level is a big level, and you see where the QQQ was bouncing, that was right at 500 psychological level where it was bouncing as well. So you could if you want to look at the options, if you see how that went, you see that as the QQQ was breaking out, and as the QQQ was breaking out, and as the you can see that how the 502 calls went from $3 to $4, right? Or went from 270, 280 to $4. So you see that how you can trade those options with that, or you could trade TQQQ if you want to break out trade the shares. So you could trade that as well. So that was the breakout. That was the story of SPY today. So lesson to learn here is how to play the gap ups, how to know that it's not going to fade, how to not short it, how to short 9:30 concept to 10 a.m. Why QQQ was not a short, because QQQ was holding this 3450s, and really nice trades. Morning shorts were really nice. A lot of traders shorted that. If it had faded, would have been home run, but now we're holding the gap. Tells you market is so strong. So that was our SPY QQQ. Really good setups, really midday trade as well. Very happy that a lot of traders were able to trade these midday setups that I shared in community as well. Same for QQQ. Initially we were long in the QQQs, but even later in the day, QQQ was in the chop range. But once the chop range was there, but then once it started to show me this breakout, that was the setup that was to be longed. Let's go to the next one. All right, let's talk about Amazon now. So what was Amazon? So Amazon, my friends, was a big 200 psychological and weekly breakout, right? So I did post something today that there are a few concepts. More times the resistance is tested, bigger the breakout. Tested, breakout. And when the resistance acts as a magnet, it's going to break out. And we all know, we have been talking about the Bezos wall. We have been talking about how Bezos has been selling, and he's done selling. There's so much liquidity. Every time we touched 200, it pulled back. Let me see. Yeah, so I posted that on Twitter as well, that we're no zooming over 200. There's no sell wall anymore. So when we were looking at the market chop, and traders were asking me about the Amazon. Of course, we have our Amazon levels right here. You can see that 2069, 202. Traders were asking me, and my initial thought process, if I just take it up here, let's see if I can show you guys. So my initial thought process was, this is a chop. So you just put your stops at 200 and have a position. So you don't really need to start trades here. But as soon as I see the breakout, and that's when I tell that you can long it. And there was a lot of flow, crazy volume. Look at the volume, 200% volume traded on Amazon today, right? So I gave the 203 first target. We pushed bet that, still very strong. 204 next target, and then 205 next target, and we hit 205s and we hit 206. We were targeting 207s, but then of course it's extended. And when it was pulling back, I gave the level of 203. You see that? Pullback level 203 means that's your risk level to add. We didn't really pull back fully to 203, but you see that it was 203 30 40s, and that's the power of Ripster EMA clouds. And this is where you long. A lot of traders did long that. That was a 512 bounce that you long, and after that it pushed again to HOD. Then I gave an HOD target, and of course my final target was 207 on Amazon. 207 was on my target, or 207.50, because those are the lotto calls that I told many traders that you can take that. Once we are at 205s, you can take those 207.50 calls to use your profits, right? Watch my previous videos. I often talk about, if you're trading options, how to maximize your profits. But you can see that even this 207.50 lottos, let's say you made a money here and you're profitable, they were 60 cents and they went all the way to $1.80 and like a 300%. Let's say you were trading 202.50s, and then you made initial money, you take profits and then use that profit to buy the next lotos, right? So on Amazon, that's how you do maximize your profits, right? For example, let's say you were trading 202.50s, which went from $1.50 to $4. Let's say you made $2,000. You take 600 out of that, you throw that into 207.50 lottos, and that doubled as well. If you took that 600, threw that into 750s, that became $1,500. So that's how you maximize your lotto potential, option potential. If you have shares, you buy out of money. Long term, thinking about Amazon, this is a beautiful breakout, guys. Look how many times it was tested on the daily chart: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? And finally the breakout, and a huge volume, and there's no more sellers. So this should see continuation. It can be a multi-day. Any pullback to 200 or this area will be buy for investors to stay long. As long as it's over this range, 195s, it's going to go higher. And we're targeting 210. We'll see how it does tomorrow. Any pullback tomorrow around this area that we'll be watching, especially this area, I'll be surprised if it really pulls back to 1 hour clouds, but we want to see it somewhere hold this area and then push over breakout over the 207 level and see the continuation. So good stock, good breakout, good for investors, good for day traders, good for swing traders. So really beautiful trade today, Amazon. Hopefully you guys nailed it. All right, so let's talk about Tesla now. So what was our plan on Tesla? Again, the same thing on Tesla, just like the market. Tesla was gapping up huge. We know that Tesla benefits from Trump. Elon is close to Trump. So you see these levels, right? So this was the level. All day there was a seller there. So we were long at the open. I did a starter long right here at 284s. And we did push to like 287s. So that was an amateur, good profitable trade. But I strictly told everyone, unless and until we break that, unless we break that 290, because there was a 400,000 seller. You see here, there was a 400,000 seller on Tesla. So I gave in the pre-market plan, I gave these levels 276s, 280s, big gap, watch the cloud hold. You see the level I gave, 276s, right? Exactly, that's the level where it bounced, right? Look here. And it's clouds. You can't short it if it's not breaking down there. And as soon as the 10 a.m. call happened, Tesla bounced. I only traded the open, and I cut rest when it broke this 512 because my entry was too high, right? I would have to risk a lot if I'm long at 284. And Tesla has a big range now. Its ATR is like $13, a huge ATR now. Tesla moves a lot now because as it gets higher price stock, it's gonna move much more than what it used to move at $100 or $200. That's how it works. But anyways, I was not trading it, but I did tell my traders that if you want to long it, this is your line in sand, and this is the 512 long call setups. That's the long. And I told them we can easily push back to 286s, 288s, and that's what really happened, right? You see the 512 calls, you long here, see B minus, your stops are here, and once it starts to pushing, you move your stops up. So in gap fill, broke our support pivots under 280, right? So it was in the gap fill, but then 10 a.m. came and then it held 3450s and then it bounced. And I said, no gap fill confirmation, 276.50 line in sand. And then the call, then I gave the targets of 287, 288. We met all those targets. We actually, I told that 290 is the real breakout, right? And that's what you really need to break out. It could never break out of 290 today. If tomorrow it breaks out of 290, we will be long. And I told traders that you can swing some as well. So that was the Tesla today. Really nice trade by the traders in the community. Held the gap very strong. We'll see. Today was just super bullish day for everything. We'll see what happens tomorrow. So let's look at NVDA. So NVDA was also long since morning. Since morning, I gave long to everyone that NVDA triggered long because we had our watch list, right? We have our levels here, 142s, 142.54s. So NVDA, you see the amateur long, right? So amateur long pushed nicely, pulled back. This is your another entry. That was the amateur move. This is where you enter 512s, and there's a lot of flow coming in, on NVIDIA all day. And as I was on voice, I talked about that. It's setting up this nice breakout. You see these breakouts, and you see these breakouts, and there was a sell wall of 1.7 million. And as soon as that sell wall on NVIDIA was cleared, NVIDIA just continued to push, right? Just continue to push as well. And I think there's a lot of flow on NVIDIA as well because it's all-time high breakout as well on NVIDIA. So you could see, and the market was just so strong. And you can see even this bounce on NVIDIA came at 10 a.m. So 10 a.m. concept is so important. So you have to learn the 10 a.m. concept. It really helps you. You don't have to chase at the open. I like to trade the amateur moves. If you stop out of this flush, the system didn't do anything wrong. System simply pulled to the EMA clouds and it's continued to push. So NVIDIA was another nice trade today in the community for a lot of traders. All right, so let's talk about coin and MSTR. This morning in my game plan, I mentioned that Bitcoin was all-time highs because, of course, it's a Trump. I have talked about that often. Trump and JD Vance, how much they are crypto, and I told everybody to look at our crypto and sheet. You can look at these stocks, CLSK, you can post the screen, MSTR, Mara. You can see the resistance pivots that we have for those, and you can look at the Bitcoin chart. That's the breakout I gave. Maybe I can show you guys what I gave on the Twitter. Let's see if I can find that on the Bitcoin. Let's see. Yeah, so you see that I gave this breakout on October 28th, right? You see that for swing traders or crypto investors, you see that that's the breakout, right? So, and I said into the Trump events, and you see the breakout, and then you see the breakout and the push, right? So beautiful. So that's a beautiful breakout setup. And when that's breaking out, crypto stocks are going to break out. Of course, coin and hood, they benefit if Trump pushes crypto more traders are going to trade crypto. Hood benefits, we'll cover the hood later. Coin benefits, and of course MSTR has been running a lot without even before, so that's why MSTR was a little muted, but it was coin which really went crazy today. A lot of traders in the community focused on that, and even if you missed coin, that's no big deal. There's always runner next day tomorrow, right? There's always runners tomorrow, so you don't really need to worry about all that. So yeah, so let's look at coin now. So let's go back. So coin. All right, so coin right at the open broke out of our pivots that we gave right out 220, 220.60, and this was a confirmed long here. I was not focused on coin because we were working on Amazon, Tesla, all others, but I'm glad few traders were able to get it, and then this was a next breakout on coin, and you just simply ride the 512 clouds. You didn't do anything. And if you look at CLSK, that was one of our swings as well. Came back, held the clouds, midday cloud curls. That was good. So then you look at MSTR. So MSTR, problem with MSTR is it has been already running so much, right? And I talked about that, and the difference between MSTR and coin was coin kind of made higher lows. When this is happening, this is not going to be a good long. So you do not long here, you just stay away from there. But the coin, Mara, CLSK, those were the setups which were going to pay you. The coin went crazy today, like the options went 1,000, 2,000%, and that's fine. That's how it's all about opportunities. If you traded Tesla, NVDA, Amazon, if you made money there, you don't necessarily need to be on all these trades. But something to watch on coin was that it was also a daily breakout right over this level. Always look at your daily charts. So beautiful trade. Coin, not my personal trade, but traders in the community did take it, so that's good. So that's why we provide all these. That's why we have every day we have crypto watch, and that's why I give it in the game plan, right? Yeah, you can see there. So yeah, let's go to the next one. All right, let's look at hood. So hood was another long in the community today. Let's see, there was an amateur short. That's why I keep repeating amateur move and trend move, but the trend move gave you the call. So initially hood, I said we gap fill short under 34.50, but it did not really break 34.50, and then I said it reclaimed bullish. It's bullish now, and since that alert, hood went on to break out and ran all day, just like coin, because hood is also a crypto broker and you can trade crypto on that. And we had hood, you see, I said gap fill under 27, long over it, and look where it's bouncing. Long over 227, pushed all day. Beautiful winner for the community. And you exit here, you long here, you exit here, midday flags. All right, let's look at HIMS. HIMS is one of our day 2 repeatable setup. It was a day 2 because it was news yesterday, so it was a day 2 setup, and you could see that HIMS was over 1 hour MTF cloud, so that was a 1 hour MTF cloud long, and I told everybody it's a long. I usually tell do not chase, you have to wait for the pullbacks, but HIMS did, after pushing, did pull the candle back to 21.17, and it was a nice, my target was 25, but we never met that target, and then it broke 512, so we had to cut rest of it. As it goes, you take some off, so that if it breaks down, you don't lose everything, right? Because of course, if you're adding here, you're going to lose it, right? But we are adding here, right? This area, of course, we take some profits and leave the half. And then once it doesn't hold, I gave a 2350 breakout as well, and it pushed from 2350 breakout almost a buck, and then it breaks down on a 512s there. So that was him. All right, let's talk about FSLR. So FSLR was a short in the morning, and then it curled on the 512s. So FSLR was a short from the game plan in the morning. Let's look at the game plan. FSLR, Trump expected to roll back climate regulations, so bearish to neutral. 182.75 was support. Once it breaks down, it's a short here, it's a short here, it's a short, but once it starts curling, you get out of the short here, and then you look for the curls, right? And I sent out an alert at 10 a.m. that we have a 512 curls, cut the shorts, and from that 185 it ran all the way to 196 for a big winner on First Solar call setup, just by the system, right? System tells you in the community, we never have a crazy loser, because our system saves us from a crazy loser. We always have a pivot where we cut, always have a level where we add. So that's why we have a lot of, it's good for a lot of our traders. So there was some other earning setups which were really good. There was one JCI, 75, 57 was the levels, and I was talking about on the voice. JCI right away pushed over all the MTFs, and it was a long all day. And I mentioned it mostly on the voice today. I was not, but you can see that JCI kept on pushing. Even at 1143, I said it's going to go next leg up, and it continued to push JCI all the way to 82 bucks from the morning 77 bucks. So many opportunities in community, guys. So you just have to capitalize. You don't have to trade everything. You pick something, but you make sure you focus on that one. Quickly go through some other trades. CVS long was a loser today. We were trying to long it. I told everybody to long it, but when it pulled back, this pullback did not work, breaking 512s. Then I said cut it, right? I mean, just cut it. Even if it's bouncing lower highs, just cut it. You see how you keep the loser small and compare it to other trades like GCI, and you can see how the winners are big, right? Because you follow that. All right, let's look at some other trades. Geo was a good long from the plan. Geo is a Trump win play. These were the two levels, and Geo kind of broke out right away. On the voice, I mentioned that's a good one, and it was in the game plan. Ran all day. Geo owns prisons and mental institutes, and big campaign supporter of Trump. So that just happy that we were able to catch a lot of these runners that were running due to Trump. So what we had next was RIVN. So we had RIVN versus $10 was fade. It was a short in the morning. That was my game plan. Look what I said here. I said RIVN trade versus 10, bearish so far. It breaks 10, you short it, no questions asked. You short the pops, no questions asked. Trade it to 950, 50-cent move, beautiful move. You cut on these 512 calls, beautiful trade. Yeah, let's look quickly on SMCI and CELH. SMCI, there was no trade on the morning. It was bearish. It was choppy. It curled 512s later, but not worth the time. CELH was a good short this morning. It was bearish. CELH bearish to neutral bias. That's what I told everybody. Highlighted this play. So that was a short right here when it broke this 512. You short it and you long the 512 calls. So CRWD was very strong, gapping up this morning, and CRWD was only the amateur long, but after that it didn't really do anything, and it just pulled back and went sideways, right? And it was not really scratch or loser, I would say. All right, let's look at PSES, this one that had a short report a few days ago, and it was still heavy because the company came in. It didn't really say anything. It really didn't really defend itself on PSES, right? Extended to the downside, bearish to neutral bias. And I was on the voice mentioning it. And you see this pops fade. That was a midday fade. You could short it, make like $3 short from 19 to 17, make $2. So anyways, guys, that's what it for today. Decent day in the market. You didn't really need to trade everything. Whatever you traded was good enough. And hopefully the trend continues, and we will keep killing it. If you're new to the community, and make sure you watch these other recaps as well. Even if you're not in the community, make sure you watch these recaps. I'm happy to get a lot of good DMs today as well. People really improving. Thanks, guys. Bye.